Ever wondered why some words are considered cursed in English? It's a question that has probably crossed your mind at some point. Welcome to our exploration of the intriguing world of cursed words, or as they are more commonly referred to, swear words. These words, often shrouded in controversy, carry an intriguing history and cultural significance that might surprise you. Whether it's in movies, books, or just everyday conversation, these words are more than just a means to express frustration or anger. They are a reflection of societal norms, taboos, and even our deepest fears. They are words that can shock, provoke, and sometimes even amuse. But how did these words come to be cursed? Why do they hold such power over us? And most importantly, what do they reveal about us and the language we speak? We're about to uncover these and more. So, let's dive into the intriguing world of English cursed words. Imagine you're sitting in a cafe with your friend and this topic comes up. Alex, with his usual jovial spirit, stirs his coffee and looks at Ravi. You know what's always intrigued me, Ravi? The power of words, specifically the so-called cursed words. Ravi, leaning back in his chair, raises an eyebrow. Cursed words? You mean like taboo words? Exactly, Alex responds. It's fascinating how certain words, just combinations of letters really, can be so powerful that they're considered off limits. Ravi nods, taking a sip of his chai. I see what you mean. It's like they hold a power over us. But why is that? Why are some words considered taboo? Alex grins, always eager for a deep dive. Well, it's all about culture and context, isn't it? Every society has its own set of words that are deemed inappropriate or offensive. They can be related to religion, sexuality, or even basic bodily functions. It's not the words themselves that are cursed, but rather the ideas they represent. Ravi muses on this. Interesting. So, you're saying it's not the word, but the cultural interpretation of the word that makes it taboo. Exactly, Alex exclaims. And it's not just about being offensive. These words can be used for emphasis, shock value, or even to rebel against societal norms. They're a powerful tool in language. Ravi chuckles. A tool that needs to be used carefully, I presume? Alex laughs, nodding in agreement. Absolutely. Like any tool, it can be helpful or harmful, depending on how it's used. But it's fascinating, isn't it? How a simple combination of letters can evoke such strong reactions. Ravi grins, raising his chai in a toast. To the power of words then, cursed or not. Curious? Let's delve deeper into the roots of these cursed words. Did you know that cursed words have a rich history? Yes, indeed, these words that we often shy away from have fascinating origins. They're not just a random collection of sounds that we've decided to find offensive. Each one carries a story, a tale of societal norms, cultural shifts, and linguistic evolution. Let's take a trip down the memory lane to the Middle Ages. This was a time when religion played a significant role in everyday life. So any word that was considered blasphemous or disrespectful to religious beliefs was deemed a cursed word. Now fast forward to the Victorian era, a period known for its prudishness and strict moral codes. Here, words associated with body functions or sexuality were considered improper and were thus cursed. Now, let's cross the Atlantic and look at the American Wild West. A completely different set of societal norms and ways of life gave birth to a new collection of cursed words. These were often tied to acts of violence or lawlessness, reflecting the rough-and-tumble world of the frontier. But it's not just about the past. Cursed words continue to evolve with society. For instance, in the present day, words that are derogatory or discriminatory are increasingly being recognized as cursed as society becomes more conscious about respect and equality. This evolution is also influenced by cultural shifts. As cultures mix and interact, they bring along their own set of cursed words, enriching the English language. Just think about how many English cursed words have roots in other languages. It's a fascinating linguistic melting pot. So, what does this tell us? It's clear that cursed words are not just about vulgarity or shock value. They're a reflection of our society, our values, and our history. They're a part of how we communicate and express our emotions, albeit in a more unconventional way. Now that we know their history, let's understand how they impact our language today. It's time to delve deeper, to explore the power and impact of these controversial words in the next part of our journey. Cursed words are not just taboo. They have a significant impact on our language and communication. Such words, also known as expletives, often carry a punch that can intensify the feelings being expressed. They can serve as verbal exclamation points, punctuating a sentence with a level of emotion that mere adjectives might fail to convey. Think about it. When you're really riled up, there's a certain satisfaction in letting out a string of choice words. It's cathartic, like venting a steam valve. This is because cursed words are often used to express strong emotions such as anger, surprise, or frustration. They are the linguistic equivalent of a primal scream, but it's not all about the release of pent-up emotions. Cursed words can also be a tool for bonding. Yes, you heard it right. In certain social circles, their use can indicate a level of comfort and familiarity. They can serve as a kind of secret handshake, signaling that you are part of the group. However, this is a double-edged sword. While they can help forge connections, cursed words can also widen social divides. They can be seen as crude or offensive, potentially creating tension and conflict. This is particularly true in formal settings or cross-cultural interactions, where the norms around language use can vary widely. Cursed words also have a significant impact on how others perceive us. They can influence whether we are seen as educated or ignorant, polite or rude, mature or immature. In this sense, they are a form of linguistic clothing, shaping the impressions we make on others. But let's not forget, language is fluid and ever-changing. The taboos of yesterday may be the common vernacular of tomorrow. As society evolves, so too does our language, with cursed words often at the forefront of this change. They push boundaries, challenge conventions, and in doing so can ultimately lead to a more nuanced and expressive language. So, the next time you use a cursed word, remember the weight it carries. Whether you're expressing strong emotions, bonding with friends, or making an impression, these words are far more than just taboo. They're a potent tool in our communication toolbox. Cursed words hold a lot of power. Ever wondered why? Let's dive into the psychology behind it. When we use cursed words, we're often doing more than merely expressing anger or frustration. These words can also serve as a form of rebellion, helping us to break free from societal norms and expectations. You see, every time we use a cursed word, we're essentially challenging the status quo. We're pushing the boundaries of what is considered acceptable, and in doing so, we're asserting our individuality. It's a way of saying, I won't be confined by your rules. Now let's consider another aspect, the shock value. Cursed words are taboo. They're words that we're told we shouldn't say. And precisely because they're taboo, they have the power to shock and get people's attention. If you've ever used a cursed word in a moment of surprise or anger, you've probably noticed the reactions of those around you. Their eyes might widen, or they might gasp, or even laugh. That's the shock value in action. But there's another layer to this. Cursed words are also a form of emotional expression. When we're overwhelmed by strong feelings, whether it's anger, frustration, or even excitement, cursed words can help us to express those emotions in a potent, visceral way. They allow us to give voice to our feelings in a way that other words simply can't. And finally, let's not forget the bonding aspect. Cursed words can actually bring people closer together. When we use these words with friends or loved ones, it can be a sign of intimacy and trust. It's like saying, I trust you enough to show you this raw, unfiltered side of me. Cursed words, then, are not merely words, but tools of expression with a rich history and potent impact. Whether we use them to rebel, to shock, to express our emotions, or to bond with others, they hold a power that goes far beyond their literal meanings. So, next time you use a cursed word, remember, you're not just saying a word, you're wielding a tool of expression. So, what have we learned about cursed words in English? We've journeyed through the intriguing labyrinth of language, tracing the historical origins of these taboo terms, from their birth in ancient societies to their evolution over centuries. We've seen how these powerful words have been woven into the fabric of our everyday lives. We've also discussed their cultural significance, how they reflect societal norms, values, and even our deepest fears and desires. Then, we delved into their impact on language and communication. We've seen how these words can stir emotions, spark conflicts, and even influence our perceptions and relationships. Finally, we explored their psychological power, how they can shock, offend, amuse, or even liberate us. These words are more than just a collection of letters. They are a mirror of our culture, a testament to our past, and a tool for expression. So the next time you hear or use a cursed word, remember it's not just a word, it's a fascinating piece of linguistic history.